Hello, kindred spirits. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to be doing a little mini home tour, just showing you a few of the rooms because I got some furniture in and I can't wait to show you what it looks like in place. If anything, maybe this video will inspire you to move some things around your home to get a whole new look. Enjoy. Well, it's one of those nights, or should I say morning. Now, Willow has been up on and off all night, and I know she's going to be up again, so I decided to sleep on the sofa this night just to give Ben a little rest, and I'm making myself an herbal tea. I was just boiling it in my coffee mug, and I'm like, no, this is going to be a long night. Why not make myself a little pot of tea? I have some sleepy time tea here, and I have some of my dried orange mint, and I'm going to make myself a little moment. And maybe I'll be able to drift off while I'm sipping my tea. And this coffee pot has a little candle in it, so I will have a little candlelight to look at as well. For anyone wanting more information or who would like to purchase this teapot, I'm going to put a link below which goes to my Amazon shop. I am waiting for a piece of furniture to be delivered. And I'm also bringing something back from my office to go into a spot right here. It was very temporary. I just had a trunk here with our TV on top. But I have a piece of furniture at the office I was using for display, and I decided to bring it here. Now, it's not exactly the style that I would really want for the room, but I think I can make it work, especially if I change some molding at the top. It's a chest of drawers, and up top I can close doors to hide the television. So I'm heading over to the office soon to unload that furniture, pack up a few orders, and then come back home to meet a delivery truck because I also have a piece of furniture coming for the dining room. Before I walk in there, can anybody guess what piece of furniture that might be? If you've watched past videos, you may already know what it is. Now let's head in to the dining room. This piece of furniture was originally in the tavern room in Groton, and that's the reason I purchased it, and it's going to go back into the tavern. It's really dark. It's only about 7 o'clock this morning, so there's no sun actually in that part of the house, so that's why it's so dark. But I did purchase that credenza at the antique mall last month. I just didn't say anything because I wanted to wait until the day it's coming. So it's actually coming a day before I thought it was going to. So I didn't even get to empty this yet. I don't have time to empty it yet. I'm hoping I can hip and push it out of the way. If not, I'll just have to have the guys move it for me. And I'm just going to put it aside right here because I don't have the tavern ready to move it into either. So I'm going to just right now take everything off the top and see if I can scooch it out of the way. And down the road, we'll probably do a different table. I do love this table, but it's a 20-year-old, and I want to say but. It's a 20-year-old kitchen table that I had, and I see something a smidge more formal down the road, but the wood tone, I want to see what it looks like with the credenza, because if anything, I could even have the top recovered, because if you get really close, I have quite a bit of damage to it. You know, my kids grew up with this and the whole works, so it is what it is, and it's done its function, and it will probably be here for quite a while longer. But I want to pull this room together, and then I'll do some sort of sisal rug on the floor, just waiting to find the right one. So I'm going to clear this off, and then I head out to the office. I have to get that done too. microphone on right now, but I just realized that I'm gonna have to probably scoot my table all the way over because then they're gonna be carrying the other piece of furniture that way. We'll figure it out once they're here. It's not rocket science.
I do have felt pads on everything that needs to slide on our hardwood floors, but they still get caught in the little grooves of the flooring, and sometimes it can be a little bit challenging when you're doing things alone.
I figured I should just empty a lot of the items now on the table because these items are going into the credenza. Now I just found this little crumb catcher. Forgot I was looking for a brush. I'm glad this is marked on the back because it says for crumbs at the table made by BCD as a child. That was my father-in-law. So he has a crumb catcher that you would use on your table. That I'm going to have to display, I think, with a little brush. But like I said, this drawer was pretty much, we just put things in here when they came to the family. And I haven't really gone through things yet. With this new piece of furniture coming, it will be fun to do that because now I'll have a lot of drawers to put things in, whereas I only had 2 here. I've never lifted the top to put things away. Just wanted it light enough to move. I'm gonna meet Ben with this one or the guys. So it'll be really nice to finally get some of this organized. And I also have a lot inside the bottom of the corner cabinet there too. So this is what I'll be doing later today and maybe tomorrow. It's gonna be in the 90s this week, so being inside is the perfect thing for right now. So we're at my office right now, and this is just the start of the fall boxes. And there's more here. And we have these in rows of 3s, actually. And here is the piece that I'm bringing home. The office is a mess. Look at this. It's like organized chaos here. These are the Halloween boxes, and the Christmas boxes aren't folded yet. But back to this. This piece is coming to the house. The only thing that really did throw me was the top. But I noticed that that's extra. That is actually has a seam there. So if I ever wanted to change it, I could. But I'm gonna live with it. I might like it. I might love it once it's in the house. So this piece will be going there. The shelves come out. It's an excellent width for a TV. It's the perfect depth for a TV. And it's going to fill a need that we have. And if it doesn't work, I can always bring it back to the office at one point. So I just have some more to pull out of the drawers and then wait for the movers. I'm just gonna pack up some orders now. Look at the color that was inside. 1950s, 60s, I would say, on that color. Could even be 40s, late 40s. The movers are here and they're just moving the truck, but I love how this is a 2-piece unit. And like I said, I think, you know, if ever I wanted, I could remove this particular piece, but I'm going to live with it. I think it's going to look great, actually. And this might be the inspiration piece for the room. Back home, and I've got some things to put away, but loving the piece in here, actually. So I'm not changing anything. You can see the glare of the sun on the paint. But I even like the color in here. And then it's going to be perfect to put a thin television. And that was the purpose. I'll also be able to now put a lot more in drawers, such as our chess set that's always been shuffled around the house, and blankets. You know, our throws can go in one of the bottom drawers. So this works out really, really, really well.
I still need to move the artwork. I put it on a little nail that was there to get it up off the floor. But I had the pillows flipped around because I had nothing else nautical in the room and I wanted to connect something. Well, this is one of my favorite pieces of art in the house, and there's ships. So I flipped the pillows around because now everything has a little connection.
One thing I really liked about this piece of furniture is all of the different tones of wood match things that I have here in the room. So we have the tabletop here, that's a different shade, and we have the pine, but the colors are all in this unit. So it's all going to work cohesively together once the room's pulled together. That's Willow drinking her water. This room has not been changed in 3 years. Maybe it's time to do a little rejudging of the artwork. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I'll show you soon.
With the help of this label, I was able to trace back information on Historic New England's website. This piece is an actual English-style reproduction of furniture found in a home on Beacon Hill in Boston, Mass., 1785. And I have piece number 846, but I don't know how many pieces were actually made. And here's the picture of my piece in an old catalog. And speaking of catalogs, part of it says, "Hospitality reigns in the dining room, old friends, old wine, and good food. With the charm of a Georgian dining table, promote a flow of wit, a feast of reason, and a happy guest." Under the cloche, I have a reproduction piece of art that we carry on a little stand. I have an inkwell that was found on Sugarwood's property in the dump. I have a seagull feather for the ocean, a sand dollar I found, and a piece of driftwood. All connecting a little bit with the maritime theme, but also things that I found out and about or on the property. While out and about, I finally found the piece of furniture for my kitchen. This is in the store, and I really thought it only had one drawer, and I was prepared to make a shelf to put an old mixing bowl of my grandmother's. But look, it came with a drawer.
So here it is. And I was very surprised to find out there was another drawer. The consignor just didn't bring it in that day. So I went and picked it up, and now the piece is complete. I might mention this again in the video, but right now this has 2 different shades on it. They painted the white on the front, or I don't know, I can't tell the 2 different colors. They're very similar, but it's just a very rough coat of paint. I am thinking of either trying to strip it and getting it back down to the natural color, and I will be showing just a little tiny piece of that in a moment, or I might paint it black and leave the knobs. I might stain the knobs a little bit darker, or I might paint it the briarwood color, which would connect the butler's pantry with this room. This piece is a vintage piece from England. It is a baker's table. It's an item that is made by a school supplier, like school desks and chairs and whatnot. So that's why I'm going to allow myself to believe this was used by a lot of students. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I love to look everywhere in homes, on furniture, to get some clues. Now, it's hard to see, but right here is a clue. But I also love seeing all of the construction. On the back here, it's not really a clue, it's actually an answer. There's more information here that luckily somebody did not paint over, showing that it was made in London. So what I do plan on doing, whether it's stained, painted, because this is just somebody's rough paint job and it's two different colors, the front and the back. But what I'm gonna do is try to find a little tiny frame that's gonna go around this so that nobody will paint over it or stain over it in the future. Well, they could take the frame off, but I won't be doing that for many, many, many years to come. We're gonna find a little frame and clean this up and highlight that. This piece is made with some wooden pegs. Beautiful old piece. So I'm not sure of the date. I'm going to work on trying to figure that out by what this label is and looking up how much they've changed the label over the years, if this is a different look over the years, and then also the construction of it. Underneath, they have metal hinges to hold open the side versus wood, which is neat. I don't know if those are original or not. I really haven't pulled this apart yet. I haven't even been underneath to look, other than the drawers. So, but it's been painted over. Yes, I am laying on the floor right now. I'm surprised Willow's not here laying next to me. She usually shows up when I do stuff like this. But nothing here that I could see. I looked at the drawers, other than they are made with dovetails. And I cannot wait to use some of the food safe cutting board oil that I have. I ended up giving my bottle away to a friend as a gift, so I need to get more from the office, and then this will darken up just a bit nicely. But like I said, it's a food safe product, and give this a nice drink. Last night I worked on this table, cutting herbs and bunching them together to hang in the butler's pantry. I'll show you that a little snippet right now. I just went out this evening before it got too dark. It's dark now pretty much, it's 8:30. And I harvest some lemon verbena, some rosemary, and I also got some basil. Here they are. Now, I just hung this lemon balm last week, and this is some basil that I did maybe a week and a few days ago. So it works really well. I've been doing the tension rods for many years, and it's been very, very successful for me. And these I picked yesterday from our garden, and there's already many more growing. I'm going to be giving zucchini away.
My vision for this room is finally coming together. I knew I wanted to have the furniture here, but I needed the mule chest in the dining room until I found something, and I patiently waited. But once again, it's starting to look just like what I wanted it to look like. And we do have a place now that we can sit. I'm just going to get a little footstool. But also in here, it's functional room. I do use it as the laundry room. So over here, I'm keeping my laundry drying rack. It fits perfect and it tucks away. And I do hang a throw on it just to zhuzh it up, for lack of better words. And on this wall here, I do need to find something else because I took the bench. This is where a fireplace used to be when it used to be the home's original master bedroom. We even had a bathroom in the dining room at one point, which was before that the kitchen for the house. Now, I had no plans whatsoever to move Horatio here. And for those who haven't met Horatio, may I introduce him to you? Horatio Haskell is an adopted ancestor. I found him out and about, and he's named after my husband's ancestors, just the last name. We made up the first name. But we put him in this room, and I really liked the look. And we named the room the Dolliver Story Tavern, short story long. It's the last two names of two of our ancestors that connect Ben and I as eighth cousins back to the 1700s. Once again, here's your weather geek girl. Check out this sky after a storm. I had to look these up. These are mammatus clouds, which are known to follow thunderstorms. They look like little bubbles coming out of the clouds. I just couldn't stop staring.
Grabbed my camera a little too late. I just saw some horizontal lightning. Never saw that before. Looked it up, and it does say it's rare. Pretty cool.
The next day, we were out of power due to downed trees, so I headed into town for an errand, and then I stopped at a local shop, and I found this. Now, I believe in fate and manifestation. Just this morning, I was standing in my bedroom looking out to this little garden area and saying, I wish I bought the bench at that store, but it's sold. This morning that I went, they had another one in. It was meant to be.
Sitting here taking in what I need to get done in the garden.
Before I go on, speaking of in the garden, I have to show you something we have on camera.
Hey, what are you doing? Go back in your hole. Go in your hole. Why are you in my garden? You garden killer? What are you doing? Hey. Goodbye.
Now I'm gonna go out. Either the woodchuck startles me or I startle it, but I want to show you the damage he has done digging underneath this wall. Our neighbors, it's either the same one or a family, but I just don't want him to make me jump. All the sand has been kicked out. Let me see, we go this way. There's a big hole under this rock. If he's not careful, he's going to excavate to the point where the rock collapses. But that's a lot of sand. They must have put all the sand when they built this wall, one family, because this is not part of the barn foundation. So this was all put here. But yeah, that's a lot of sand. And we tried to trap him with a have a heart, but all he did was eat the fruit. We just made him happier. And here's the camera. That's how we chat with it. There's another hole on the other side of the wall that he also has. I have no idea what that tall tree-like bush is. I'm going to do a leaf snap on it soon. I pull it every year before it gets that big. And I have some other weeds there. The bee balm is opening up. The tall phlox, which you saw in, I think it was last week's video, should be open soon. That was a video from a couple years ago. Some of it started to open. Let's see, there's some of the tall phlox there. But the bee balm and the bees are here. Look at all the bees. Ooh. The bees are loving the bee balm. I'll have to come out here when it's sunny. All right, I'm gonna go over here and leaf snap this bush, tree, whatever it is. I have a feeling I know what it is, but I'm not gonna say it out loud because I'm probably wrong. Well, it's exactly what I thought it was. Sumac. Lovely. And it came up as staghorn sumac, so I'm not sure if there's a difference. And I've got some weeds here. This particular one, every year, I kind of leave it because the Japanese beetles eat that versus the other plants. So this is like a host plant that I do leave for a while. And then very in the morning, when they're full, I cut the bush and dispose of them. They don't know it though. But this little area is the messy part that I have not touched this year yet. Other than I just tripped over some things I started cutting while we were just outside. The lavender's gone by. I did not cut any of my lavender this year except for a little bit. I really wanted to let the pollinators have at it. So all the lavender here and other parts of my garden, I left for them this year. These need to get a very good trim, but they're already way past the point that they're going to be a nice shape next year. They either had too much moisture or I didn't cut them low enough last year. And I'm going to say too much moisture because some others are doing really well in another part of my yard that is very dry. It's been very dry. We luckily had some rain, but not enough to keep everything from kind of losing its color. I'm gonna head back inside now for a while. Wanna go inside? Come on, let's go. She's got a little more pep in her step, but next week is her MRI and hopefully we'll find out what's wrong. And I have to say, one of you mentioned possible epilepsy. I looked up the symptoms. Wow, so many of things that she has been going through were listed. So I'm gonna bring that up with the neurologist. I cannot believe how many of the black-eyed Susans took over this year. I decided not to pull them. So many of the other flowers have been kind of hidden. My white balloon flowers are in here. The purple. The hollyhocks didn't come up, and my foxglove didn't. I don't know if these choked them out or what happened, but I kind of liked the pop of color actually. Somebody didn't wrap up the hose, and that would be me. Here's something on my to-do list. Outside, the snowball viburnum are so tall, I can't see out my window. It's blocking my view. I was looking at old photos of the house when we first bought it, and they were just a couple feet high off the ground. Definitely gonna cut them down, way down, and I think I'm gonna look into either transplanting or donating these bushes. And I was inspired by one of my walks in Walpole, New Hampshire with Carla a couple weeks ago. Found a beautiful little garden that is fenced in. I might do something like that in the front of the house, not this year, down the road, but I could look out the window and look at a flower and herb garden instead. It will get beautiful southern light, and then I will be able to enjoy it in the winter by maybe putting a little potted Christmas tree out there or something. Forward thinking, but these, I'm trying to make the property easier to take care of. I trim these 3 times a year. It's just getting to be like monotonous over and over. Groundhog Day. It's like I did it over and over and over. It's crazy. So I've never seen a plant that grows that fast. I don't believe we're gonna go over this today, but the plans for our carriage house design came in. Well, I guess I'm here. I can quickly show this. What this is the carriage house design. We have 3 contractors coming next week to take a look at these. We ended up going with one that the carriage house was actually taller in scale to the main old portion of the house. And I pulled so many photos to share and to show them that that was done very much so here in New England. Many of the times the barns loomed over the smaller houses. And this will give us the room and the space that we are looking for our future lives. And once again, I said this in the past videos, if this is just way too much, we're still going to do a glass attachment that goes from the house to the garage that we have right now. So we'll see. This is as if we're standing in the backyard. Well, it's hard to explain this, but I'll go over this in more detail. But we finally got the plans back. So now it is down to talking to builders.
Well, it looks like Ben ate the last muffin that had all of the calories. He saved me from doing so. What a great husband. Well, kindred spirits, I hope you enjoyed that mini home tour of some of the rooms that we put some furniture in, and I look forward to seeing you next week. I hope you're enjoying your summer. Bye now.